Hi everyone, this is day 17 of my healing journey. Even though I was triggered on Halloween by somebody, an employee of a store wearing a Walking Dead costume, and I couldn't wait to get out of the store because I didn't feel safe, it didn't register in my brain that was the complex PTSD until a few weeks later. And I started getting physically sick with too much stimulation. So at least I saw it a week and a half later instead of months, 1 to 2 months down the road, which I had before. I'm getting more in tune with how I'm feeling. And I looked at, okay, what are my tools? Okay, what will bring me joy right now? Then, I closed the blinds, no stimulation, no light, no nothing. And my poor dog, it's like, oh gosh, I've got to really work hard with mommy because she's an emotional support dog. And she has been cued on what she needs to do in order to help me. And she knows what she needed to do, cuddle with mommy more and just lay still and quiet, no playtime. Because the more stimulation that there is, the worse that the PTSD gets. And I got to thinking about my tools, what will bring me more joy, and I really enjoy photography. So I've decided to do a beautiful and fun video on my other site and the YouTube site, and the link is in the description if you'd like to go over and subscribe. And I will get pictures together of what I think is fun, funny, and beautiful and put them all together and then put them up when I'm not feeling as stimulated as I have been. So when people have complex PTSD, they need people who can understand what they're going through instead of blowing them off. I did speak with a girlfriend for an hour on the phone, and when also I spoke with another friend before that for a half an hour to be talked down. When somebody not being talked down to, but talk me down from the hyperventilating, the hypervigilance, it's the fight or flight. He has a very calming voice, so it's very soothing to bring me down into what I needed. Day 18 of my healing journey, I had to go to the grocery store, and I really didn't want to go, but I have to eat. And a transportation driver had asked me, are there any support groups for PTSD for when you're like this? And I explained to him, you have an emotional support group. I don't know of any support groups locally to go to. I said, but the last thing I want to do is be around people when I feel overstimulated. The best thing is for me to be in a dark room, for it to be quiet and not be talking with a lot of people. And he was just really concerned. And he said, well, I thought it would help. And another driver did too. I said, oh no, when you're overstimulated, the last thing you need is more stimulation. You need quiet, and sometimes soothing music helps. And like I had mentioned a little earlier, I have my medical companion dog, whom I have trained to know what cues to look for when I am having a really bad complex PTSD day. While in the grocery store, of course, when I was done, I had to go use the restroom. And there's this little girl coming out, and I saw a man standing outside the women's bathroom and looking at his phone. I didn't think anything of it. And as I'm going in, she held the door open for me, and she's cute. I think she's maybe 3 or 4, maybe 4 years old. She's having a daddy-daughter time. And I was going in towards where the stalls are, and I hear her say, Daddy, I can't get the soap on my hands. And I looked at her and I said, would you like some help? And Daddy saw who I was because the door was open, and she shook her head yes. I said, well, come on. And she knows how to carry her weight because she felt like she only weighed 10 pounds. And she put her feet up on the sink and put soap on her hands. And that was really nice. And then I'm in the bathroom stall and I'm crying quietly. Because when I was a child, I didn't have anyone to care enough for me to do that. And if my mother would have been in the bathroom and she would have said, well, come on, I don't have time for this. If you can't get it right, we're going. And then when she left, the father yelled in the bathroom, "Thank you." And I said, "You're welcome." And then I cried even more, like I am now, because with the PTSD, you don't really have much control over some emotions. And I got to thinking about, she's having a father-daughter day. They're having a fun time shopping. And I don't know what else they have planned for the day. But the thing is, I had very few father-daughter days. And I did have some. My dad and I would play tetherball. And he would swing me in the swing, but he got bored of that. And he didn't want to do it anymore. So it's like, no, go play by yourself. And then the day came that my father told my brother and I that he was bored of us. And this way he would rather spend time with other people's children than his own. So you might be saying, well, get over it. Well, some traumas are so deeply set that you continue to work on getting over it. I have forgiven my dad. The trauma is still there, and I will still heal from it. And I was talking with a neighbor who has PTSD. He's a combat veteran. He said these things are so deeply meshed inside of us, I don't think they ever really come out. And I was talking to him about doing relaxation, and he said, I have tried those. He said, and it has helped to a degree. But when you try to think back on a time you didn't have PTSD, he said, I was 3 years old when I got PTSD. I was 2.5. Our memories start when we're 2 years old, if we can remember that far back. So yes, I do believe in a God who is greater than all of us. And he has also worked on desensitizing himself by putting himself purposefully in situations to overcome them. I'm not that far along yet. He's been doing this longer than I have. I just isolate, but I've gotten my episodes down anywhere from every 2 to 5 months, depending on the trigger. And what I'm noticing is that with this last trigger on Halloween, I usually don't go in the stores on Halloween for a reason. I don't like all of the stuff. It brings up not so good memories. And I've gotten past the point of being able to be in around decorations and not a problem. But when the masks look like a dead corpse, a real dead corpse, I have issues with that, apparently. And it just triggers things off. So next time on, when I think about my next trigger, I will need to take myself out of any stimulation for a week, because I forget that for me, the PTSD will rear its head, I'll be triggered, and then it lays dormant until I start hearing a lot of noise, like at church with a lot of people talking and the praise and worship band and everything going really loud. That just feeds on the PTSD. Well, I did go to the library today and I got my hair cut because it really needed it, and I had to get some stuff out in the mail and buy stamps. And at the library, I got this book, The Relaxation Revolution, written by 2 medical doctors. And they have protocols on what you can do for deep breathing and the different visualizations that you can do to overcome some items, because it's scientific proof that your brain can heal you. So I will be doing 2.5-hour visualizations every day using the relaxation methods for my brain to switch off the attack mode and switch on the heal mode. From going out to the library and getting my hair cut, by 5 o'clock in the evening, I was literally physically shaking so bad. And it was not pretty. I just did what I could just to take my dog for a walk, and then I did speak with a neighbor who had PTSD, so he was a help for a few minutes because he understands where I'm coming from. And then I just hibernated the rest of this evening. It's day 19, and yes, I'm wearing the same top. I usually wear the same top around the house for about a week. I'm a minimalist, and if it gets dirty, I do change my top. But this morning I woke up crying and everything and feeling a little overstimulated. And some people have tried talking to me and told them I can't talk. This is not a good time. And they go, I didn't do anything wrong, did I? I said, no, just complex PTSD. And it's better off that I don't talk to anyone right now. I am doing my best not to overeat, emotional eat, and I did a little bit the other night, but then I noticed what I was doing. So for the rest of the night, I cut back on an evening meal and an evening snack. So I'm working on that really hard, and today I increased my exercises, and then when I had to take my dog out, we did a very brisk walk to help. Being outside does help, but if I think that people are going to come talk to me or something, it's just like I can't wait to get back inside where nobody talks to me other than my... Today is day 19, and I'm doing much, much better this morning. Yesterday morning, the complex PTSD hit its full peak, and it was nothing nearly as bad as it has been in the past with catching everything at an earlier stage. I am really excited that I'm doing better. I have a girlfriend who's flown in from out of town for a conference here, and this afternoon we'll be able to spend some time together. I have looked into a walk program, and I have sent away for the guide, and I still have some building up to do for it, and it tells you how to build up if you've never walked, because this 4-week guide is having you brisk walk for an hour. That I will need to build up to, and I'm looking forward to this new challenge. Today is day 22 of my healing journey. I got to see my girlfriend on day 20, and we had a really nice time, and I went to the workshop and relieved a lot of stress, and that's what it's designed for. Started feeling much better with the PTSD and the stress levels going down. On the way home, though, the van driver decided to stop for a 15-minute break. So the one woman sitting next to me, very nice lady, we were talking for an hour. Well, when I got home, my head was buzzing. So it took a little while to decompress from that. And yesterday, a friend of mine took me to get yarn. So I'm back to yarn therapy. I'm crocheting a bedspread for my bed for this summer, because my summer weight one just shredded and pilled up in 3 years for laying on the bed, and the dog did not tear it up. So I was able to get yarn for that and feeling a little more calm with that. And today went grocery shopping and just going to kick back and crochet and do an hour and a half of visualization every day starting today, to help decompress and relieve more stress. So I am doing much better. This is the yarn I got. It's Aran Fleck, and this is how it's working up. I wanted to get the Aspen variegated, but they did not have any in stock, so I thought this would go good with my chocolate brown headboard. So that will be nice therapy. I got 4 skeins, so we'll see how far that goes. And somebody's in a I want to play mood. If you're interested in my walk program that I'm doing for relieving of stress as well as weight on Instagram, go to gloria.hass, H-A-S as in smile, S as in smile. If you'd like to receive notification for all my videos that come out, hit the subscribe button and the bell. Thanks for watching.